We're gonna be in the back hanging up there.
I thought I'd see you again.
I know, I've seen you
It's like a
before.
bad penny.
How you doing, Mark?
Come back this way. I gotta take care of one thing real quick.
Been having a lot of trouble with drivers out there late past few weeks. You here? Ron?
Yeah. Let's see here, I gotta just let them know something real quick, I'll be right there.
All right.
You guys, do you two know each other?
No.
Oh, okay, Chris, this is Ron Tonoff. Ron, this
Hey,
is
Ron.
Chris.
Actually, I've ridden with him.
Okay,
You have.
Drove with you on the road.
You have.
Yep, yeah.
Ron's a league certified instructor with the League of American Bicyclists.
Oh, cool.
So that makes him like really knowledgeable about riding.
Okay.
Ron also does volunteer work with the State Bike Co-op.
Okay.
Ron and I have been friends for quite a few years and have ridden together for quite a while. He does touring and commutes and uses his bike for a lot of stuff. I'm surprised he didn't ride here today.
Okay.
I would have, but I
But he, anyway, and so I'll let you guys talk. If you want to go ahead, and then I'll be right back.
So what were you saying about?
I said I've had a lot of trouble with drivers in the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Either not liking the fact that I'm on the road or just yelling, cutting me off, getting real close. Scaring the living hell out of me sometimes.
That's a problem. You know, there's no denying that drivers, their attitude toward people with bikes. I know people who enjoy to ride their motorcycles
Yeah.
this time of year because their feeling is that people don't expect you to be out on the road, and so they don't look for you.
Yeah.
Now these are people with motorcycles. They're big vehicles. You know,
Yeah.
you would think they'd be able to see them.
Right.
They put off the 1st of November, and they don't take them out until March or April.
Right.
So,
So anyway, Chris, I was contacted by your service and support specialist.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what her name is.
Amy.
Amy. Actually, I got it right here. And she was asking me about having someone work with you regarding your interest in doing Special Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I had a meeting with those guys earlier today. And Special Olympics concerned, I mean, you ride a ton. You probably ride more than anyone in the board's program.
Mm-hmm.
Other than maybe me, you might ride more than me.
Yeah.
So they just wanted to have you go through an instructional program and training
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
Right.
And I'm sure Amy's had this discussion with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So anyway, and I don't know how you got. Did you get called by Amy, or did I
Amy
put you
called
in
me.
touch?
Amy called me.
Okay, Amy found Ron's name and number on
Through
it
the website.
through the League of American Bicyclists.
Okay.
Okay, and then unbeknown to Amy, Ron and I are good friends, and so anyway, I asked Amy to make a referral to here, so that you guys can use our building to do your training and that type of stuff if you're interested in doing it. It's all going to boil down to whether or not you want to do it or not.
Yep. Absolutely.
Um,
Definitely.
Chris, it's like anything else. We all kind of have to jump through hoops to do the things that we want to do.
Yeah.
There's rules that are, there's a lot of things that I'd like to do differently here at work, but I got to follow the rules if I want to keep my job.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of things I'd like to do down at the bike co-op, but I'm not the one that makes all the decisions, so I got to follow the rules.
Right.
So anyway, that's why we're here today. Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, he made a statement about following the rules. I know you ride a lot. You probably surely ride more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
You've been dealing with traffic for years.
Right.
As far as this bike safety program goes, there are certain things that they expect you to know.
Right.
What they call their need to know list. These are the things that you have to cover during the course of the program. It may be things that you feel that you are aware of, that you've dealt with for a long time, but the fact is it's something that we have to go over.
Mhm.
At the end of the course, there's a test that you have to take, and you have to pass the test in order to be certified to get a certificate saying that you've actually completed it.
Okay.
It's in addition to a written test, there's a road test. So this is all part of the program. To complete the whole thing, you have to do the whole thing.
And what's really important to know is that it's not a test that Ron made up.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I've been on the website. I've read a lot of stuff about
Okay.
how it works and everything.
So you're
Okay.
familiar with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a test that if someone was taking this course in New Mexico, they would take the exact same test that you're going to take. So
Right.
it's not like Ron is trying to teach you something to give you a hard time or
Right.
make you do something that he just wants you to do. It's a standardized test throughout
Mhm.
the country that was developed by the League of American Bicyclists, which
Mhm.
is, I think, based in Washington, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. It's their home offices.
And Ryan and I have been through the training. We're both instructors, but you know he's retired and has a whole lot more free time than I do.
Mhm.
So
You're an actual league instructor?
yeah,
Are you? Oh, I didn't know that.
which is why they contacted me years ago to work with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I wrote a lot. It was because of
Yeah.
yeah.
There are some things I guess I didn't understand back when I rode with you. That's probably why.
Well, you know, and Chris and Ryan and I have had this conversation. Yeah, we all grow, we all learn
Mhm.
through our life experiences. I'd like to think that I'm a more mature and responsible person than I was even 2 weeks ago. You know,
Mm.
we all have history and stuff. So, you know, unfortunately, when I was in that meeting today at Special Olympics, you know, you do have some history and a reputation, and which is fine. But I told them that, you know, you're going to be working with the league certified instructor, and they were very, very pleased to hear that. So, you know, I think they're very willing to have you on the team as long as we can get this, you know, you can pass this
Right.
this test. Last year, one of the other guys on the team, I worked with him on his training.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just you; they're not singling out you. You know, they want, because they realize that people are going to be out there riding and training on their own,
Right.
and they want them to be safe. They don't want to, you know, to have them have an injury occur or anything. And you know, I think I told you this when I worked with you years ago, but back on June 6th of 2006, a good friend of mine was killed by a semi,
Right.
and it was his fault.
Riding his bike?
He was on a bike. I was on a bike.
Wow. What?
You know, I had to go back and ID the body, and I had to go pick up all the parts, and I had to go down to his parents' house in Portage and tell him what happened, and he was a very safe rider. So, you know, accidents happen. The board does not want to have anything like that happen to someone that's out training for one of their programs.
Right.
And they feel that they can minimize that risk,
Mhm.
you know, if we have all of our people go through the training program.
Right.
And I think one thing that Ron will work with you on is, you know, there's not hard and fast rules as to exactly where do you ride the road when you ride down the road, because it could be totally different at 11 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon or 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning when there's no traffic out there versus 5 o'clock during rush hour. You may adjust things, and those are the subtle little things that are difficult to teach, and there's no hard, fast rule even with the League of American Bicyclists. And that's why they try to recruit people that have years and years of riding experience to be their instructors.
When we took this class, everybody there had done a lot of riding. They were all, I think everybody belonged to some organization. And consequently, we spent a lot of time on the road, but I will be the first to admit that I learned something in that class, that things that I had never thought of, and everybody in that class probably felt the same way.
Mhm.
Even though some of it may have seemed mundane, why are they telling me this? There were things that I learned that
Right.
I'm thankful for the fact that I did take it. And I took the same class that you are taking, and Mark did the same thing. We all had to take that class first before we could go through the program to become league certified instructors.
Mhm.
So that was the first requirement.
So, both Ron and I realize you ride a ton, and as Ron just said, you might ride more than he does.
Mhm.
You have a ton of experience riding in traffic, maybe more so than me. I live in Maumee, and so it's really easy for me to get out of town.
Yeah.
And then I don't encounter a lot of traffic.
Right.
I do my best to get away from cars, because the reality of it is, whether I'm in the right, the car's gonna win if I get hit.
But you also got to make sure that you don't get hit.
Well,
Right. You got to make yourself as visible as possible. while out
you gotta
trying
be
to
as visible as
traffic.
possible, but too, the other thing is too, and
People say you should ride like you're invisible. I never believe that. That's
Yeah.
more dangerous than it sounds.
I agree with you 100%. But I also know too, like, I ride out Monclova Road a lot by St. Luke's Hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and it just seems like people out there are in bad moods, and there's a lot of people, they
Even from the hospital, what would you do?
well, but also there seems to just be a lot of pickup type people out there, and I don't mean to generalize that people that drive pickups are less in tune to bicyclists.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I've noticed about riding on Monclova, and I will change my route based on what time it is, because I couldn't figure out, why do I keep getting buzzed, And the answer wasn't to go further out in the road, so then I found myself riding closer and closer to the side, but I don't like riding really tight to the berm, because if you get shoved off, then you're gonna crash. Plus, that's where all the debris ends up. But again, but what I realized was that the sun was setting in the west, and people really probably couldn't see me that well.
Yeah.
So now,
Right.
depending on what time I get out of work and I can get on my bike, if it's at a certain time, I'll ride 1.5 miles out of my way to get to where I'm starting my ride, just so I can avoid Monclova, even though Monclova's quicker. And those are little subtle things that, I would hope that maybe Ron can talk to you about and stuff. Like, it's coming up to walleye season, so I avoid River Road in Maumee because there's just too much traffic, and the road's not in that good a condition anyway, so you're out probably further than you should be. And
Which part of River Road are you talking
down by
about?
Side Cut.
Oh, right along the river.
Yeah.
Right where it's level with the water.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that part of
Kind of
River Road.
Right. But I'll avoid that now just because of all the fishermen. So I'll avoid it until the walleye season's over, and then I'll start riding down there again.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
again,
the road service isn't that great anyways.
they paved a little bit of it, but so anyway, I need to have you sign a couple things. You got a pen or do you?
No.
Alright. I got one there. Okay. If you could sign right there for me.
Okay.
And all this is see right here is obtain bike safety, and it's going to allow Ron and you to use this office to go through your training and stuff. So just sign it right there. And then too, you may find that there might be other things that you want my assistance with, which, if so, great. That's it. That's all I need. So, I guess before I started lecturing, how you been?
Pretty good.
The last time I saw you was over at Bike Works. Are you still doing work for John on occasion?
No, I don't really do work for him anymore.
Okay.
Kind of got another job now.
Oh, really? Where are you working?
Well, I'm working for a provider right now.
Uh-huh.
They're doing various things, washing cars, and 90% of the time, this winter we haven't been doing nothing.
Well, yeah.
The season, just the time of year, But we washed cars, we go out and do some yard work, we shovel snow, and did a lot of leaf cleanup in the February.
Oh,
when
cool.
the weather was
Cool.
nice.
And I see you riding around a lot, so it's good.
Mhm.
And you look fitting.
Yeah.
Yes, I in the corner of Holland, Sylvania and Sylvania Avenue the other day.
Yeah, I'm out there a lot.
Yeah. Cool. What kind of bike you riding these days?
It's Trek 7.2,
Okay.
nothing special.
It's nicer than when I first started riding with you.
Yeah, Schwinn. That's it.
But you had a Diamondback too, didn't you?
Oh, that thing, yeah, that thing gave out on me.
And
Brakes
then
just,
You found a road bike somewhere.
an old women's road bike, yeah, then I'm borrowing